We're celebrating Taco Tuesday here at Wake Up Tucson. And I hope Congressman Andy Biggs can join us.
Hey, Chris. Oh, my gosh. What can you say about the idiocy of this administration? I mean, San Antonio, you Latinos like tacos, breakfast tacos. I mean, unbelievable.
So they're unique like breakfast tacos. So I had to go back. Yeah. I had to go back to the Trump tweet. We did this in the first hour. There's actually a long you're gonna love this, an NPR piece from May 8th of 16 called "The Deeper Reason the Taco Tweet is Offensive."
Well, I mean, this is the problem. The Biden family is out of touch with reality. You know, they're kind of this criminal organization. They got in with the Clinton criminal organization, and so they're oblivious to what happens in the real world, right? I mean, just totally oblivious. And that's why Joe Biden says so many offensive things, and apparently Jill does too. That's why Hunter does so many offensive things. But I mean, let's all go get a breakfast taco this morning and just call it good.
So in the end, right, how do you deal with, so in the end, the problem, of course, is the press, right? Mm-hmm. And how do you deal with these folks that are literally willingly blind to such obvious, I could give them a little bit of leeway on some small stuff, but I mean, the last year and a half of this crew, I mean, they're obliterating the middle and lower class, right? I mean, all of these crazy things, and there's still a large portion of the media that says nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, too, because only 15% of Americans, regardless of party or demographic, say that we're going in the right direction. And they must all be in the media, you'd think. A bunch of people who've been indoctrinated, and that's what you got. And so I look at it and say, it's always the American people, because the American people have the ultimate control, of the ultimate power. We can do, we as the United States citizens, we can do so much. And what you're seeing, though, is actually the citizenry kind of take a stand. They say, we don't like what's going on. We don't like what's happening. It's awful. They don't trust the media. They don't trust the institutions of America, because all the institutions have been co-opted by the far left. So whether it's media, Congress. And so for me, I look at it and I say, it's no surprise that Joe Biden is the least liked president in American history. It's no surprise that the American people are saying, no more. We've got to stop it. And we can do that. And the media will be dealt another crying jag in next November. They'll be crying. There will literally be tears on TV.
I guess so. The big question is for a lot of Republicans that are listening, working hard on campaigns, is if we take back both houses, like hopefully we're going to do in November, what does that look like with a crazy old man controlled by a cabal of geeks, liberal geeks? What does that reality look like next year?
Well, it looks like we have to have good leadership, both in the House and the Senate, who are willing to fight them on every front. So, I mean, there's must-pass legislation. So you're going to have a budget. So you're going to have to leverage that must-pass legislation, the budget, for instance, and say, no, we got to secure the border. You got to open up oil and gas development. You got to do whatever, and that becomes a leverage point. Then you have to bring in these people like the crazy General Milley and Secretary Mayorkas, and they've got to come in and testify for all of America to see how crazy they are. And then, where necessary, you may even have to impeach some people. Why? Because not to get even, but two things. You have to stop the bully. You have to provide deterrence, and you have to provide accountability. So, I mean, all of those things will happen to hopefully slow down this race off the left-wing cliff. and also bring back some normalcy.
You brought up House and Senate leadership. How would you rate House and Senate leadership right now?
Well,
you brought it up. Sorry,
you got me. It's early in the morning. Okay, look. Okay, for the Senate leadership, it's a D. Always a D. I just can't I can't believe what I see coming out of the Senate, and the House is maybe a C. It could do so much better, so much more. It could fight so much harder. You know who gets ticked at us for the members of the Freedom Caucus for just saying, look, we should be having a roll call vote on every bill before it goes to the Senate. It's the Republicans. That's who gets mad at us.
Right.
There's a bill, this NDA, National Defense Authorization Act, that's coming up for a vote this week. It's just a woke piece of garbage, and we could hold that up and try to leverage whether it's something on the border, something with energy, something with the spending. It's just something, and it's not going to happen. And so they miss these opportunities that are just laying there for them. This is be the second NDAA bill, because typically the Democrats can't pass it because the Democrats don't like the military, so they lose 30, 40 votes on military funding. And I know people say, well, you can't leverage military funding. Well, this is not just military funding. This is providing $1 billion to woke transgender programs throughout the world. This is basically doing the videos for the Navy, saying, look, folks, we don't say hey guys anymore. You got to say hey team, because somebody might have a pronoun that's different. The emasculation of our military forces happens in this NDAA bill all the time. So I get frustrated with our leadership because they miss every leverage point to restore some semblance of normalcy and order in the United States Congress and for the United States.
Did when she was on the other foot and we had both houses in Trump's first couple of years, did the Democrats make it go to roll call, or did they do the same thing as what McCarthy's doing?
They made us go to roll call when they could. They kept us late on votes whenever they could. They obstructed wherever they could.
Like the opposition party's supposed to.
Yeah, that's right. and that's really that's what the opposition party. Since you're not going to be able to necessarily get your agenda through, what you do is you throw down roadblocks to the bad agenda from the other side. That's really what the opposition party is capable of doing. Now, I will say this. Nancy Pelosi has changed all the rules repeatedly so that she has all the power. She has all the power. Her own side, if they decide they didn't like her at all, which they don't much, but they couldn't get rid of her because they passed a rule on day one saying you couldn't get rid of her. Now, they'd have to go through and change the rules, and they'd have help from the Republicans to change the rules if they were going to get rid of Pelosi, for sure. But they fight, and we strategize. That's the problem.
Sounds like you're hanging out at the airport. Is this true?
I'm just wasting time at the airport, man. That's just where it is.
Tell me about when are they putting you on trial for January 6th? What's going on there?
Oh, they've been having a trial in absentia. That's a kind of a crazy thing, isn't it? I mean, they said they'd served me with. They leaked that they had served me with a subpoena, which they didn't. Still never been served, which is interesting to me. But now they've canceled today's hearing because Steve Bannon said that he was willing to come in and testify. Just wants it to be public, so they can't do what they did with some of the witnesses' testimony, where they're kind of really rude cuts. I mean, they're jump cuts, and you can see the cuts in the video where they take a single sentence out of context and then say, look, see here, we've got the world's biggest dastardly sinner based on this hearsay testimony. So, yeah, it's pretty bogus right now. but it's actually emasculating the institution, and it's not bringing the country together. And quite frankly, nobody's paying attention.
What's the chances Trump did jump over the front seats and tried to turn the steering wheel to? well, so first of all, I got to be able to open up the security glass. Okay, I mean, once that happens, I mean, this guy's 74. I've golfed him. It's not like he's a svelte, thin little fellow. He's a big guy. I'm not saying he's fat. He's just a big guy. There is no way in the world that he beat up two Secret Service guys to get over and grab the steering wheel. It's the most ludicrous thing. And I thought, in all seriousness, she's got a cartoon imagination. But did you see the faces of the Democrats, including Kinzinger and Cheney, who I now view as Democrats, as they're sitting on the stand? Oh, it's the most serious thing in the world. It's grave, and my jaw was on the floor as I'm watching that testimony. It's like, well, their hate of Trump is so great. He inspires great hate in a certain amount of people. That was like look at all the news and the late night guys. It was like, we got him. He blew through the security glass, reached over and grabbed the wheel, and somehow turned it back the other way.
It was like a cartoon meme. I mean, seriously, somebody did a meme of this, and she believed it.
All right. One last
the whole story.
Sorry, go. I'm sorry.
The whole story, everything about her testimony has fallen apart. Absolutely untrue. Nothing she said. So I begin to wonder what her name is.
Now I want to let you get back online for a $12 cup of coffee at the airport Starbucks, but I got one question for you. In the National Defense Authorization Act and what's going on in the world of military funding, what are we seeing in relation to the military installations in Arizona? We got about 2 minutes.
You're seeing some movement here and there, and there's going to be probably some money that comes in. It's really uncertain, quite frankly, because although we've had it's thousands of pages, and we're looking, and we haven't found anything really super positive for Arizona yet. We're still looking. There's your spot.
No, that's okay. Are we still bracking? Is BRAC a thing?
No, BRAC's not really a thing officially. Although there is some. Let's face it. There's some outside of BRAC attempt to weaken the military, but not closed bases per se.
Gotcha. And then my last quick question is, what's going on with the CPB guys on the? Remember, they were cleared of the whipping claims, but
they're going to be punished anyway.
Yeah. They want to suspend them for a couple of weeks without pay and all of that, and we're fighting that. That's absolutely unconscionable. That's being done solely for political purposes to cover up for Joe Biden's intemperate comments as soon as he saw that. So the picture, but it's just awful. By the way, I wrote about that. Will be appearing this week. I'm not sure which publication. I can't tell you, but I actually addressed that in some detail.
Gotcha. Are you going to DC or coming back from DC?
Oh, well, you hear me out of breath. I'm going.
Okay. Well, have a breakfast taco and get ready for your flight. And thanks for the time as always, sir.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Take care.